What's up, this is Jake with Hike 734, hiking the Rescue Creek and Lava Creek trails in the Mammoth area of Yellowstone National Park. And originally I was going to do both of these as two separate hikes, but then I realized I could link them together and actually make it an almost loop hike instead of two out and back. So anyway, so what I did was I started at the RescueCreek trailhead and I worked my way all the way up the RescueCreek trail and to where it joined the Blacktail Creek trail, and then followed that and then just did the little cutoff trail over to the Lava Creek trail and worked my way down Lava Creek where it joins the Gardner River, and then that's where I am right now. So anyway, started over at the RescueCreek trailhead and crossed over the Gardner River pretty much immediately and just came up on the other side to really big, broad, open grasslands. And it was definitely a little windy this morning, and but it was really cool. I got to see a coyote first, which was cool, and then also saw pronghorn. I think the pronghorn was actually chasing the coyote, and yeah, it just followed that. Could see the town of Gardner, saw some bighorn sheep, I believe, way off in the distance, and just kind of worked my way up just and around. And anyways, came over and I came over this little tiny rise, which was really cool and kind of opened up to another neat little area. And one of the things that was you can barely see the Yellowstone River. You're not actually that far from it, but it's kind of sitting down in a canyon. So I could barely see it. And then just this flat little area, got to see a raptor. I think it might have been a peregrine perched up. And yeah, had to walk around a bison, just saw more pronghorn, really cool stuff. And then finally on this little flat area, I started to get some elevation gain. I made a right and started heading up what a creek called Turkey Pen Creek, which is pretty funny. And started working my way up Turkey Pen Creek. Pretty steep, actually, a little steeper than I would like, but yeah, definitely doable. Worked my way up Turkey Pen Creek, and it's just a really cool, it leads you to kind of this cool narrow canyon where you get some nice grasslands and, you know, just trees and whatnot, and just, yeah, really awesome. And then just kept working where it would kind of, and I started to alternate between trees and no trees and whatnot, and yeah, finally worked my way all the way up out onto the big plain, which was great. I really like the big old open grasslands, and so just kind of traversed on that. Right when I first came up over the ridge, I see this Muppet mop of a head as this bison was using the trail, and not a big fan when they come that close to me, and but I let him pass on by, gave him wide berth, and he just sauntered on by. But yeah, just got to go ahead and see just these really great meadows. Finally popped out over by just the beginning or the headwaters of Rescue Creek itself, and finally started dropping down there and saw a couple more bison just being lazy down at the bottom. But overall, it was just really cool. I saw some wolf tracks, but no wolves, unfortunately. But yeah, just really neat, just walking through this big open area. I have a feeling there's a little pond in there, and I have a feeling during certain times of the years the mosquitoes are deadly. And but anyways, finally worked my way across that up onto another little shelf with another wonderful grassland, and then finally out to the Blacktail Creek Trail, or the Blacktail Deer Creek Trail, and just worked my way down past the couple of fenced areas, which if you haven't seen that blog, you should go check that out too, because that's a cool hike down to the Yellowstone River. But anyways, I just hiked on that for a little over a quarter of a mile until I got to the Blacktail. Well, on one map it'll be Blacktail Creek Cutoff, and another one it's the Lava Creek Trail. The sign says Howard Eaton, so whatever you want to go by. It starts out where you really can't see where the trail is, because it's definitely not used very much, and so you just start kind of following along, and the trick is to stay below the hills and above the Blacktail Ponds. But really cool area, and you just kind of feel your way across the meadow. I had to go past this really big herd of bison. Not a big fan of trying to split a bison herd. I didn't really have a whole lot of choice because I really couldn't go left because they were all the way up to the hills to the left and hills to the right. So I kind of picked my best thing and moved forward. But then what you're going to want to do is you're going to aim for that hump right in the middle and just go right up and over that, right up the center of that. And once you go up and over the center of that, then you'll end up coming up to just kind of this flat plain, and you just work your way along the edge of the road. This is really nice if you have some kind of a GPS, but ultimately you're not gonna, you really can't get lost as long as you stay between the road and the hills there. And eventually you're gonna come and intersect with the Lava Creek Trail proper. And technically speaking, the Lava Creek Trail is what you had been on. But you can go to the picnic area there, and if you're just gonna hike the Lava Creek Trail, that's where you go for that. And anyways, so you start working your way down Lava Creek, and this is all pretty much downhill. And you'll start to work just kind of through some, sparse treed areas, and then pretty soon, really fast actually, you come to Undine, I don't know how to pronounce it, falls, but they're really pretty. And yeah, they're just this really cool falls that spills over and then splits into two little falls. And definitely was digging that. And then just a little bit past that, it's really cool because you stand on the edge of this like cliff and you just get really cool views. And one of the cool things is you get to look and see Mammoth Terrace with its big white travertine hanging out over there, and looking down over towards the Mammoth area with Electric Peak and Sepulcher and all that. So anyways, very cool. Really enjoyed that. And then from there, it's just kind of a sweating on your way down. Yeah, it's, you're looking at Mount Everts. I believe that's still considered Mount Everts there to the right. And you cross a lot of these washout, it's just kind of a crumbly mountain. So you walk over a bunch of these kind of just washout things. And but yeah, you're just, I try to look back a lot to give you an idea if you decide to hike this from the bottom up and or the top down. And you get little tiny views of Lava Creek. And then, eventually as you get further and further and further down, you start to, get closer to the creek. And, as you drop down there, got to see a prickly pear. There's a couple of them out here. The other place I've seen them was along the Yellowstone River, but definitely not what you might expect in Yellowstone. And anyways, followed that down to where it came to the confluence of Lava Creek, where it joins in with the Gardner River. And you can see the bridge that people drive across. And then you start to, get closer and closer, and finally, you're really, really close to the Gardner River, and actually you end up going out onto this really big flat area, and there's, cottonwoods and all that. And I have a feeling that if you did this earlier in the year, it would be super, super mucky. So just keep that in mind. And then from there, it just, the river kind of cuts over to the bank, so you hop up and get a really cool bird's eye view of it all braided out. You can see where, I believe this is a water that's coming in from the Mammoth Terrace area, from all the springs and such. And then finally you work your way over to a nice drawbridge, not a drawbridge, this isn't a medieval castle. You come over to a footbridge and cross over, and if you go to the left, you'll go up, or straight, you'll go up to the campground, and if you go right, you're going to go ahead and go over to the campground, or the trailhead, which is where I'm at right now. And yeah, just some last really cool views of Mount Everts and the Gardner River and what have you. And now I'm working my way out. So yeah, you can go ahead and do this as, just a Lava Creek with a shuttle. You can do just Rescue Creek to the Blacktail Creek, or Blacktail Deer Creek Trailhead, and you can and do that as shuttle as well. Or you can loop them, and the shuttle with the two of them is really short. The cutoff trail in between the two of them is a little bit, ultimately it's not that difficult, but in some ways it is difficult. So, if you're unsure with route finding and stuff, you just got to trust your gut. And if you're really unsure, just don't do that. But anyways, yeah, this is Jake with Hike 734 with the long Lava Creek and Rescue Creek loop-ish in Yellowstone National Park. If you like this video, subscribe on YouTube and head over to hike734.com for more goodness.